That he says that, and then as everybody gets close, he's gonna just like grow a plant out of his hand, like a very small one.
Oh, you're a magician.
I kind of no. What?
Roll sleight of
No.
hand.
Oh, fuck my
Wait.
life.
Wait, are you a mutant?
Shut the fuck up, yeah! What? Part of me thought that was a good idea. What the fuck? Sorry, I just went down 4 octaves right there. That's my fault.
I just said all that shit and you're gonna come out with this? Oh.
There's no better time to come out.
That was actually retarded.
Man, one day late for Pride Month.
Tony has left the room, by the way.
Yeah.
Tony did do a leave. Tony said they'd be back in 20 minutes from now, but 30 minutes is when they said it. All right, cool. Sorry.
So an 8.
Ha 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 ha. Fuck. Just a plant, man. This isn't how I thought this was gonna happen. I didn't think Petey would have to just like whip it out in front of everybody and make everybody uncomfortable.
A fair point. You could have just left it alone.
Oh God, I really could have, but I feel so obligated to help.
This is the Tyler effect.
It would have been so much easier to say.
Form of the Tyler effect.
It would have been so much easier to say, "Hey, everybody, get out of the room for a second while I talk about something important."
Holy shit, they can leave! Oh yeah! Oh.
I could have left.
When the
I
phone
could
call
probably
started
get out
because he
of here.
assumed it would be important.
I could probably
It's too
leave
late
this
now,
establishment.
No one just
I
took
can
his
be
lead.
I can be a very small bird and just leave.
It's too late now. We're all standing here in front of you.
Okay, regardless, I guess I'm showing my hero PP to everyone. So I do the plant and I look at everybody and I kind of like give them the like shut the fuck up, like or wave my hand up and down, and I
So you
look
jerk
at you
it
guys
off?
and no, shut up. I make a tiny plant like sprout on my finger and I go, I'm not a magician. I'm the reason that I used that bomb. We need to. Petey looks at you guys and just says, "Listen, I've never done anything for you, and I don't know some of you. You could all be bigots, or you could all be radicalists, and that it makes me really scared. But I really want to trust you because I fucked up really bad, and I did a stupid, and now my accomplice is going to. Oh my god, they think he's a mutant."
I mean,
Because I'm a mutant. Oh
Or
my god.
because of your plant powers, or like did you discover your plant powers?
It wasn't. It was a regular fine thing, and I added something to it, and then it got big, and then I tried to fight it, but I wasn't strong enough. I'm not that good yet, and
are you talking to your dad or are you talking to us?
I think at this point, Dad's in the center of this phone call, and I'm just plugging everyone in, and it got out of control really fast, and he pulled out a bomb, and I just barely saw it, and he didn't have anything on him when I was talking to him. I don't know where he got it, and it was big, and it blew up part of the school.
And they had a bomb, but no other weapons.
They did have one thing, and destructive as it was kind of sick nasty. He had a cane that shot fire or something.
If it was a plant, why didn't they just use that instead of pulling out a bomb? It must have been effective.
Yeah, you would have thought that if somebody had like a flamethrower, that could be a controlled issue. You didn't think you'd have to resort to explosives so quickly if you were some sort of.
It still would have set off the fire alarm. Let's be honest.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, everybody pulls fire alarms. Nobody blows up buildings. That's never. We're tracing off here. Regardless, this is my fault, and if I could do something, then I want to. So there you go. That's
Okay.
all I got.
I think our best bet is to have one of the rich people here hire a lawyer and then go and destroy the evidence.
That's what we talked. That's what we literally called Dad for.
Don't call him dad. That's weird.
His dad is what I would say in character.
No, I like it if you just say dad, and then it was just that interaction right there.
Petey's dad. That's what we called Petey's dad.
So you've called me for this little pity party.
Yeah,
Right.
kinda. Yeah, pretty much.
All I can say is maybe cut it down a little bit. My time's
that's
important.
very true.
Now, anyways,
I'll work overtime. I'm sorry.
your planet's problem caused this problem. So what?
Eh?
My question is, so what? Why does that mean I should help this other person?
Because otherwise they're going to blame us and we're going to all get arrested.
Or they're actually very good at that. Yeah, that's actually a very serious possibility. But also, they might die, and that's wrong?
So you're saying they might give out your actual identity?
Oh,
Did you not
Oh.
think
Is that
of
what
that?
I just heard?
well, I wouldn't
Why
do
didn't you
that.
just call for a sniper team instead?
A what? Is that easier than a lawyer for you? Is that immeasurably more easy for you than hiring a lawyer? Like, I
Yes,
want to
all
know
it
the
takes is-
price differential.
All it takes is one bullet to shut somebody up.
I guess bullets aren't that expensive, but what the fuck? Oh my god, this is so. I thought you owned a car wash.
He does, but you know,
I mean, do you even own a car wash?
It certainly washes away certain things.
I
Do you
can't.
really think I own just a car wash? My biggest question is, you thought that he would be able to buy part of the school, but he only owns a car wash? What the fuck do you think car wash owners make?
Well, we also like live in a fucking huge house in the center of the city, so yeah, obviously PD wasn't putting fucking 2 and 2 together.
That's all I was
He
asking.
He
I
assumed
thought
it was his mom's
I thought
PETA
it was-
work that got them there, like she was a journalist or some shit.
Oh yeah, no, that makes sense though. Petey's a rich kid. He doesn't have any idea where money comes from or how it
Yeah,
works.
what the fuck's a money? The little card. He used the little card.
if you're really that threatened, or if he really might threaten you by getting you executed, why not just put a sniper bullet in him?
This entire conversation is great.
Well,
Hold on, let me just.
DM, were you expecting this to be what the first session was about?
nope.
You can't fucking plan Bastion's questions.
Hold on. I'm trying to-
Oz, give me some athletics checks. I want 3 of them,
Got it. Not acrobatics.
and I want another stealth check.
What's Oz doing?
Oz, what are you doing? A
I'm
stealth
working
of
out.
28, an athletics of 5, an athletics of 7, and athletics of 14.
All right, so you managed to climb up the wall, fall down.
Nice.
I have climbing claws. How do I fall down?
Oh yeah, true.
Wait,
I'm
claws?
not talking about going up the wall. Whenever you jump down from the roof, you just fall flat on your ass,
Ah, fuck.
and then you manage to slide your way on along in there.
Yes.
And I'll describe the insides to you.
What is he going to?
Oh, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Tony, I typed it down, but Tony would have left saying he was gonna go to, churches, right? Maybe an angel.
Yeah, he's just doing some vigilante shit.
What the fuck?
What's your
Come on.
vigilante? What's your vigilante name?
You would have read about it in the newspapers.
Yeah. Well, who do we read about in the newspapers? Tell me.
I mean, somebody called Kieran, but remember, you don't know this is characters.
Kidding.
You just know that Tony's a weeboo.
Kidding.
A dorky, uncoordinated weeboo.
What was your response to him saying, "Why not just put a bullet in him"?
Has anybody ever saved your life?
Saved my life? Yes, I've had a few associates save my life.
And don't you feel like you owe them something for that? I don't mean one of your goons that you must hire, I guess. God, car wash. But I don't... I just... Have you ever had somebody put themselves in danger just because they care?
Put themselves in danger just because they care, yes. Some of my closer associates.
Sure. That's closer. I don't want to kill him. I want to pay him back. I don't know what it's going to take from you, but I'll give it to you, whatever it is. I feel like I have to try, with or without you. And if I get into more of a scrape, then so be it.
Fine. I'll see if I can't get myself a lawyer. Don't do anything.
Thank you.
Are we understood? If you get yourself involved whatsoever, you could ruin everything.
Gosh damn it.
Yes, sir.
I'll see what lawyers I can buy. Bring them out there.
Thank you.
Just make sure they're under the table by 3 degrees.
Aye.
And he hangs up.
So now all we
And
have to do
everybody lets out a collective sigh of relief.
So we probably have something to discuss. I'm
Not here.
wondering if we could... Yeah, that's a good idea. And he looks over at the nurses. No, I assume that the shades are open. If they're not, like, thank God, but if somebody had the brains to close the fucking curtains, that would be
I
brilliant.
mean, we kind of circled around you, so it's not like anybody was.
Yeah, hopefully the camera's not directly behind me. Just over the shoulder shot in a very obvious area that we just did not look at. Yeah, let's do that, because this needs more sustenance. Is there a way we could get out of here? I mean, I know a way I could get out of here, but
You need to stay here. That's just what he said.
I
if you suddenly disappear, it'll be extremely suspicious given that you were involved.
We need to leave and leave you alone, and you need to stay here.
there's no way I could, like, grow a plant version of myself to place in the bed, right? Like, that's just too much.
I think they've noticed that you put
Yes.
a pumpkin in your bed.
Damn it. The pumpkin was a good idea, though. I guess I just stay here. I feel so helpless.
Where's Tony?
They said they were going to go pray.
Has my regeneration started to, like, mend myself yet?
Even if you don't have regeneration, you heal 1 injury per minute with rest.
Yeah, he just kind of gets up and starts to, like, take off whatever cast or kind of bandages that they put on him, and I'll stay here, I guess, and we can talk about this when this blows over. It should only take a few hours for my dad to get these lawyers here, but once they get here, I need to speak with them before they go and talk with Ike so I can direct them. I'm sorry this all happened. You guys seem swell. I don't think you guys deserve to be put in a situation like this. Even you, Connor. What? Yeah, Petey's just gonna kind of hop back up in bed and look at you guys and just be like,
We'll
he
talk
just
more about this
lays
later.
down.
Yeah, go rest. Let the nurses do their thing.
Here.
And I'll look over at Elon.
Oh yeah, Elon, my good friend. How are you feeling today, Elon?
I'm feeling fine.
I bet you are. And he just gives a big wink. And he just smiles like a madman. And then he looks at him and says, "You have my number."
Absolute madman. All right, I turned and I heard the crew out.
So what's our next plan of action?
We wait.
We should
Nice.
probably try and figure out what evidence they have on Ike.
Ah,
I would like to
Dude, did
solve the
you-
mystery.
As we're walking down this, as we're walking, and I keep my voice lower, I'm like, did you hear how his dad talked to him? That's like mob shit. Maybe, I don't know. That's like
That's
fancy.
like mom shit. I thought you owned a car wash.
Yeah, did you hear how his dad talked to him? That's you don't want to get messed up with that. I'm just saying.
just
All right, I
Oh,
gotta know
okay.
what's going on with Oz here, so let's get to that.
Ike. Poor Ike.
DM, please. I see numbers scrolling across the screen.
I think we're gonna have to play a really good song for you guys.
Oh no.
I just want to
Okay.
say, Homer is at home right now, on an exercise machine, just kind of.
Fucking
Homer.
Lincoln
Yeah.
2.0.
This is literally the next episode, like after the huge cliffhanger, and then it just opens with something completely unrelated to the
Actually,
scene.
why don't we finish the session there while y'all are trying to figure out what he did?
Aww.
I'm not
Oz,
saying
Oz, what did
No.
you do?
No.
My
Let's see.
heart, my soul.
Homer went home and exercised, then studied, and then watched TV for a bit. Because you know what? He's a hardworking kid.
Yeah.
End it before you figure out what Tony did.
What did
What do you
Tony
think?
do? Wait, hold
Tony-
on.
Tony
What did
killed-
Tony
Tony
do? He
Craig
killed my
Creedence.
dad.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
He
say.
killed my fucking-
Tony just went up.
Hey, are you my freaking dad?
All I can say is that
Well, you know,
secretly
now
on the
my
down low.
now my problem means nothing. The exploding
Oh.
means nothing. Someone's dad is dead. My explosion
Oh my
has
god,
no
Tony
relevance.
was there for a lot of the conversation, yeah?
Where's Octopus Man?
All right, everybody
Well-
say goodbye to the bot.
Bye.
Bye-bye, recording bot.
Bye-bye, recording bot. Thank you for tuning in if anybody did, but
Go
probably
fucking
not.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe and share
Oh,
on the
God.
Pirate Bay and on daily
Yeah, like,
basis.
subscribe.
Whatever's good for the video.
Hello,
there,
everybody.
everyone.
It's Fear and Oz.
And Oz, I didn't even get to introduce myself, but whatever, you know. who
I'm
cares?
introducing you. You're the star of this section.
Oh, okay. Now I feel special.
There you go. So we're talking more about our lost episodes, talking specifically about our Tony events, and we're also talking about what happened in episode 8, where you mysteriously vanished and started rolling things, and we all started freaking out.
It's because Tony's a vigilante and he's a free spirit. So I think he kind of just, if he thinks something's gonna happen, he'll go do something, even
So-
without the group.
So Tony is already an established vigilante, correct?
He was an established vigilante before the game began, yeah.
Yes. All right, go ahead and tell me what happened during episode 7 in your secret session.
Okay, secret session, I messaged our DM and I'm like, okay, yo, I got this. I'm a sneaky ninja boy. I can totally just mess with a crime scene with no legal repercussions. I'm already a vigilante. I've already gone down that path. More crime. Who's gonna care? So after me and Homer go to the hospital in different ways, trying to be cool and badass, parkoury and stuff, we hear about the whole situation. So we basically leave the hospital again, or at least I do, lying to the group like, oh, I'll go pray for them in the monastery, or I'll go get a nurse, just whatever to get away. And I dress up as like Kieran. I pull like a Superman where you pull open the shirt and it's like boom, there's the logo.
What does your Kieran outfit look like?
Oh, it's a Kirin is like a mythical Chinese dragon horse. So it's like the head of a horse or a unicorn even. Big majestical mane, they're like bluish yellowish. You can look on Pinterest. That's where I got my inspiration for the costume. He's got a lot of scales kind of thing going on for him. The scales are kind of more designed because he has under armor basically. He wears everything, all anything vital is kind of hidden, which I kind of think is Tony's whole motif. He lies. He's a bit so. He goes to school as the Kirin, Kurosagi and all, and he's just like, okay, I'm sneaking through the vents, I'm sneaking through the lockers, I'm sneaking, and I go to the bomb scene. I actually, despite there being like government agents there, I somehow sneak past them because Tony's best girl. Anyways,
Nice.
he sneaks past them,
A
and
very
he's
sneaky boy.
he's dealing with all this evidence, and he's like, "Oh man, bomb trap and all that. Gotta get rid of this. Gotta get rid of that. Just gonna push it in the bag." See, here's the funny thing: Tony forgot cameras were a thing.
I believe what happened was you forgot to go get the cameras, and you just went to the explosion site.
That's true. So after I do a really good job of actually getting rid, I rolled really well for getting rid of all of the evidence. I thought someone has to be responsible, though. This didn't just happen in a body lab. The body lab didn't just explode. So I start writing down gang signs because I'm like, yee boy, I'm from these streets, and you know what? I'm not getting blamed as this as a Kieran. I already did my nickel. I ain't going back.
And Destroy rolled a d6 for which gang you happened to do.
Yeah.
And-
Oh yeah. It was.
And it happened
ahead.
to be the mafia Petey's dad belongs to.
So Petey's dad is in the mafia. He's the leader of that mafia. The mafia I just framed, the framing of the mafia. And so after that, I kind of think to myself, oh yeah, it's all coming together. So we leave, and I go to Foodog, who is actually the Tony/Kieran's master, right?
Tell
He's
me
just
about
like,
Foodog.
Foodog himself is literally like a better version of Tony. He's more responsible, more chill, an actual ninja. Tony's more like a weeb that somehow just learned. This is just a highly talented weeb.
How did Tony and Foodog start working together?
I believe it was just one of those days where Tony's just like looking at katanas, and then Foodog just shows up in the store to actually buy real ninja equipment in Chinatown. He's like, "Oh, I bet you don't know how to use that." And then Tony's like, "I bet I could learn." He's like, "Oh, really?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's real good." Because Tony's like, Foodog, I did a good thing. And he's like, "Good, okay, we got to go to the docks now." Like, okay, let's go to the docks.
Why
So
do you have
we
to
get
go to the docks?
Okay, so the mafia is also there. The mafia, which Tony just got done framing for a crime they didn't commit. But you know what? They're already crime committers, so fuck them. So after after they get to the docks, they're kind of sneaking around watching. Foodog's like, okay, you go around, try and take care of some of those weaker guys. I'll see what they're doing. So as I'm doing this, I do like at the beginning, I'm actually doing really well, but then I started fumbling a bunch of rolls at once. So
Oh
like,
no, I hate when that happens.
I love it. I love it because Tony either rolls good or bad. There really isn't like a medium. So after stuff is going down, Elon is actually also there. I can't remember why. Also, I remember just now. This is even in my notes. I remember having to like it was daytime when we got to the docks still, and for
Yes.
whatever reason, you fuckers were all at the docks, and I was like, fucking, we can't get.
Oh,
they're
that did happen,
civilians.
didn't it? I'm
Fucking
gonna have
civilians.
to talk to Kip about that.
Civvies.
That's
And
right.
so we had to wait till night when you guys screwed off. Tony was like, go, damn it. And I remember, I think Elon like noticed Tony was there, just barely. All right, so Tony just finds big glowing vial, and he goes, "This is either worth a lot of money, or it's going to be very cool as a lava lamp in my room. Either way, I want it." And they probably shouldn't have it because they're stealing shipping crates. So I'm just
So you're
like,
stealing shipping crates from the mafia in the warehouse.
I believe we were trying to stop them, but at this point, Tony was like outnumbered, and I've been caught, so I'm getting the fuck out of here. So he grabs the thing and he's trying to run, but then Mafia has some mutants, and like one of them's like literally a bulldog guy. Fun fact about Foodog: Foodog is actually like a guardian dog in Japanese culture, I believe. That's where Destroyer got the idea for the thing from. So yeah, don't think we just like American Dragon Jake Long or nothing, even though it's a great show. So basically, Tony is just like he gets caught by this dog mutant, and to this day, Tony still has a fear of dogs because this guy just grabs him with his fucking jaws and starts shaking him like a chew toy. Tony's having a panic attack while this is all happening. It's like it's knocked out unconscious. Foodog then shows up and tries to fight him, and he's losing, so he throws a flash bomb, and then just we're out of there. We leave the behind. Fuck it.
I see.
And we barely get away. Tony wakes up in his bed. He gets parented a bit, and then just he's just like, yeah, well, parents, I was not out late. I was just simply whatever, secret identity. So just eventually in the morning, everyone's like, let's go get coffee. Let's try and relax. And Tony's like, yeah, I want coffee. I'm not allowed to have coffee, but I want it.
And that's where we end up at the coffee shop.
That's the coffee shop, which I think a lot of stuff happens at the coffee shop.
It's your boy, Ketchup.
It's your boy.
And Veer, another one of these little minis for our lost 6-hour session. So, we left the hospital after finding out Petey was a mutant.
I believe so.
Yeah, and we were like, all right, we're just gonna chill. But it was still kind of like in the afternoon, so I believe Elon, Tatiana, and Mary all went and hung out at your place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we went to the docks. We met your foster dad, and then you took us fishing, and I believe the girls did terribly. But what else is new?
Mm-hmm. Go figure that the octopus actually caught a fish, I
Oh, of
believe.
course. And then we left, and you went back home, and you heard gunshots.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I heard gunshots coming from the warehouse area, so I was heading over on there.
All right, tell me what happened.
Yep, so I went there and kind of staked out the area. I believe around that time was me just sneaking around. I saw Kieran and Foo Dog just messing around somewhere, doing something. I don't recall exactly what.
It was the warehouse. They were
Mm-hmm.
fighting some mafia men.
And they were going along. I followed them and just kind of was invisible, trailing them, trying to not be seen because, again, at this point we didn't know we were mutants. So I was just following him. I don't think at that point I even knew he was Tony.
Nope.
Nope. So I went there, found him actually when he was fighting some of the gang members.
Yeah.
So they were doing that. He got beat up real bad.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went into the actual shipping container that had something that the gang members were kind of dealing with. So there were just crates and crates full of something. So seeing like, these are gang members. This is probably some illegal drug trade. In the moment, since they had just beaten up Tony and were coming back, I was like, what to do? You know what? I can get rid of it in a lake. So I pushed one of the crates into the lake.
You did that. That's correct. What were the crates marked with? Do you happen to remember?
Yes, it was a very fancy M, which we still haven't really resolved that yet. It's kind of dangling plot thread.
Oh my. Right, right.
Yeah, so the
Yes.
crates were marked with a fancy M, and with the gang members coming back, and one of them being very, I think it was a dog man that was very buff and beat up Foo Dog and was beating up Tony.
Yes,
So with
Foo
him
Dog
coming
and Kieran escaped at that point.
So they had escaped. He was coming back, and in the rush of the moment, I decided to push the crates into the lake. And after inspecting a different crate, I found out they were full with some weird glowing blue liquid that we then referred to as the blue Kool-Aid for a while.
Yes.
For another reason than we felt like it. So we took like a sample of that, like a jar or a vial, something like that, and quickly ran away.
And it ran away back home, and nobody saw you at all because you were a very stealthy boy.
Nobody saw me.
All right.
Yep.
What did you do the next morning? I think you just got a text come down to the coffee shop. Does that sound correct?
Yeah, something like that.
And then you met us at the coffee shop. Tell me, hold on. What we're doing is we're talking about James's intro in the Lost episode.
The Lost episode.
Correct? So, a Lost,
Lost
session,
session.
which unfortunately was a 6-hour session.
So, yes, we lost this entire session. And, well, anyways, James had a cult that was following him around.
Yeah, I had. Yep. So there was
that we mysteriously lost.
there was somebody who got very drunk and didn't read a certain character's backstory and assumed they had a cult.
Okay.
All right, tell me who James is.
Adya is a junior at Central Bastion High, and for the past 2 years, he's discovered that he has wandered into his destiny, being that he is or / will be the Sorcerer Supreme.
Sorcerer Supreme.
What? Okay.
Nothing.
And so that's kind of been his whole thing. He's kind of been trying to keep his nose out of trouble, but and trying to make sure he's strong enough to handle the world, all 9 of them, to keep Ragnarok from blowing up.
So what is a Sorcerer Supreme?
Sorcerer Supreme, it's like, from what I've written down, it is the man who will stop Ragnarok from happening and kind of master of the Bifrost and potentially magic.
So that's canon now.
I don't look. I haven't written.
No, I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying.
I don't know, man.
Look, we got space aliens,
We got space
we got
mutants,
mutants,
we got
we got a little
we
bit
got-
of everything.
And James, is an artificer. He can basically apply magic to things, and himself to shapeshift and turn into creatures from the 9 realms, and grow Valkyrie wings. Be as strong as a giant, and all sorts of things to help the party out in their crazy, mischievous ways.
Yeah, let's talk about your intro. So, from what we last left off is Connor's in the hospital, and Connor happens to be your
so
best friend.
Connor and Homer Runs are James Adya's best friends because all three of the moms that these people belong to.
What?
I rolled mom. So our moms are in a book club, and so we kind of just have become friends over spending a lot of time together. So Connor is James's best friend, and Homer is a bit younger, but still quite good friends. And so I think the first time that you'll see James is when James Adya will kind of check on Connor, who is in the hospital after the bombing of Central High.
I think I remember him putting like sticky healing notes under his medical
Yes,
bed,
he
right?
put sticky notes with circles of healing underneath his bed.
It was very
amusing.
It was touching. It was like, oh, friend, and he's like, I'm just high.
And I'm like, well then.
Also, I just want to mention we're all the same age.
No, James is older, but
James is
James
17.
is
we are the
16.
same
Oh, James,
age.
you're 17?
Oh,
Everyone's 16.
James is 16.
I thought you were
But
17.
no, I'm a 16-year-old junior. I'm like, my parents were like, oh, he's bright. He can skip a grade, or I barely met the mark to go
You
a
know what
grade.
happened to the last person that skipped a grade that threw a bomb into the school?
I get as disappointed every time I hear it.
Can I just say, James, Homer, and Connor are all 16 and all in different grade levels.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
fast.
somebody got a little too high too often at Connor. Homer is of average
Well.
intelligence, and James's parents are like, we will make
Okay,
you
so,
go grade above.
So Connor's the stoner friend, you're the nerdy friend, and Homer's the
Yes.
sports
If anyone would have
Is
just
that what-
explained to
okay.
me how fucking American school systems work, this would have not happened.
It's fine, don't worry about it. Let's see, who else got introduced at that episode? I believe a important NPC. Well, a NPC got introduced called Steve Honest, who is Mary's good friend.
He never lies because
And-
his name he has honest in the name.
Obviously, he never lies.
Steve
and
Fox.
stuff, so don't worry. Steve Honest. So Mary woke up and he was in her house already because why not? I guess.
No, he was at
And,
the house. I don't think he was inside. I think he was outside.
She was upstairs, took an hour to get ready, went downstairs, and he was eating toast with their brother or something like that. If I remember.
Oh, okay,
correctly.
yeah, you're right. He was there, and then he came in because he was waiting for an hour.
Yep. He's like, "Why are you taking so long?" We're like, I don't know, because it's Mary. Yeah, and then she happened to invite him along to because they were supposed to go hang out that day. She had to meet some friends at the coffee shop first, and he went along for that ride, and we'll talk more about the coffee shop later. We're doing this because Ike's no longer with us. So, because this is about 6 months after Session 2 happened. How Ike became, irrelevant to the story.
Well, the story of how Ike became irrelevant to the story was, after blowing up the school.
He met the governor. I think what happened mostly was he woke up and the governor walked into the room with him, right? And that's who gave him the offer.
Governor Richardson gave him the offer. Basically, a member of a suicide squad. Yeah,
What are we, some kind of suicide?
They call them the
squad?
Scrub Squad, though.
They are indeed the Scrub Squad.
I don't know why the players named it that, but that's fine. So yeah, they were put into a government program that searches for mutants. and they're the tech person, the tech child.
Yep. Yep, and we briefly ran into the other 4 members of the team, a dude in a suit, a dude in a pilot outfit, Evangelion tight spandex man. We ran into a kind of half robot guy, and a chick with a dog.
Yeah, you saw other members of the Scrub Squad.
Yes.
Which may or may not come up later.
And then he went to Central Bastion military base and hung out with them for the rest of forever.
Unless.
Hi everybody, it's Fear and Skelly.
Hey.
It's the Fear and Skelly show.
It's
Talking
this
about
us.
Lost episode 2.
Yeah, I love how we're at. I believe I remember when we were, because I'm part of the editing squad. I remember when we were doing the editing for 2, and we got to the end, and we were so happy that we had a second episode. And then I think it was while we were editing 3, I had transferred the data onto a separate drive. And when I was talking about transferring the 3rd episode to the drive, I was like, "Where's 2?" And you were looking at my screen at the same time, and you were like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "Where's 2?" And you were like, "Here's 1, here's 3, where's 2?"
Oh no! By that point, it was too late.
It was way too late. We tried everything. We tried the recovery file.
Didn't work.
Didn't work.
But yeah.
Oh well.
Oh well. So we're talking about the next day where you got released out of the hospital after, I don't know, you just got released. They were like, "You're good. Nothing.
They did.
You're fine.
It's
we
funny
don't
because
suspect you at all."
they when I was in that scene, I remember being so nervous. Well, the way that I like to look at it is because after we edited the first couple episodes, I like the plot quotation marks didn't in my mind exist until after my character was introduced, because my character was introduced, and when I was like playing, I didn't get any of the fluff. I was right into the plot.
Yep.
Like it was immediately it was all downhill from there. So I constantly make the joke that without Petey involved, the plot would never have started, and we'd have just been like a normal high school situation. So if I remember the scene correctly, it opens with Petey like just bed stuck.
Yes.
And
nobody was there. We all left because it was the next day.
Right, everybody left. Petey didn't even know anybody from school. The only attachments he had was Clap's character, because he was selling him drugs at the time.
You
And
were friends with Elon.
I was friends with Elon.
And that's it.
And that's it. And then everybody else was there. And Petey is, I think, one of the youngest, if I remember correctly. He should be like the
Ike
youngest.
was 13.
All right. Well, Ike doesn't count.
Yeah, Ike doesn't count anymore. But
Ike blew up a school, so we all know how.
He's just a terrorist. He's terrorist.
Ike's just a terrorist. Blew up a school, immediately got drafted. And then, yeah, my character was 14, so I think that made him like near the youngest.
Yeah, I think Mary's the young. After that is 15. So.
Yeah. I think his whole thing was that he skipped a grade or something, and I was talking about how smart he was.
No, we're talking about the day you get released.
Yeah, so the next day I wake up, I get released from the hospital. I get a phone call, or I make a phone call, to the rest of everybody.
Yes.
To say meet me at this cafe. We need to explain everything that went on.
Yeah. I think this is the start of the group chat.
This is the start of the group chat that we all had separately, which I'm sure we'll document at some point. And we like slam cut frame to the mall. So Petey turns into a bird, flies over to the mall. There was a long series of me like, how do I turn back into a human without anybody noticing? We go in, we all sit down at our tables, we wait for everybody to come through.
You do a coffee order.
I do a coffee order. I had this weird, see, when I was making Petey as a character, I had this I wanted to bring a level of like, because my character never understood where he came from wealth, like he doesn't have the exact like Mary level of like, because Mary's bravado is kind of farce, because her mom forces her to have that. Petey
Yeah.
has the opposite, which is like he doesn't mean to, but he has like
He
a
has affluenza.
he does. He really does. I do remember everybody was very upset with the fact that Petey made the longest. I will attempt to say it in one breath. A quad long shot grande in a venti cup, half calf double cupped, no sleeve, salted caramel mocha latte with 2 pumps of vanilla, substitute 2 pumps of white chocolate mocha for mocha, and substitute 2 pumps of hazelnut for toffee nut, half whole milk and half breve with no whipped cream, extra hot, extra foam, extra caramel drizzle, extra salt, and a scoop of vanilla bean powder with light ice well stirred. Oh, by the way, I have a free coupon. Yeah, that was the
No wonder
whole
Ground Floor hates us.
we don't go back there anymore.
And then they made your coffee wrong.
And then they made my coffee wrong about 4 times. I'm 90% sure they spit in it.
And then everybody showed up to talk to you.
Right, everybody showed up to talk to me. I had a brief what Petey thought was a very disclosed conversation
You're
2
like,
tables
everybody
away.
who knows, come over here. And then
Yeah,
left.
basically he was like, "Hey, wink wink, everyone who knows about you know what, come over to this table 2 away because we're in a mall cafe and it's not very big." And we did, and then people like in my head, I think that every flaw about like Petey's plans was very practical in the story sense because he is 14 and no 14-year-old should have the responsibility. So yeah, everybody comes over. A couple of people overhear us talking about starting a group chat and doing different things, linking
Those
up.
people would be Steve.
Steve overheard.
Mm-hmm.
Steve being one of the, like, to me, a new character who had never been seen before, fresh new character smell.
In that session.
Right. And so he sits down in his suit and tie very nonchalantly with his eyes of a hawk eavesdropping on us. We eventually went to the bathrooms because Tony invited me. He had tried to explain to Petey what that he was also a mutant to try to get in on the ground level of whatever this exchange had become. And he was so excited.
He's like,
He
"Hey,
did.
look
I
what
think he
did."
wanted to end up becoming the de facto leader because he had the only experience, which would have made sense. Petey would have been okay with it. It was at that point that he actually revealed that he was Kieran. For my character, not like reading the newspaper or basic cable, did not have any idea who this person was that he was talking about. And so when Kieran was trying to explain himself, like, no, like I'm the Kieran, like I'm, the ninja guy. Yeah, I do backflips and stuff. I just remember just the only thing in my head. I was like, I don't believe you. Prove it.
Thanks for listening to Bastion, The Last Citadel. If you enjoyed it, would you kindly like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you're informed when future episodes air? You can also follow us on our Twitter page at Bastion Citadel. That's BASTIONCITADEL. Links in the description below. And as always, thank you for listening.